So today, initially my topic was how to combat summer illnesses. I slightly modified the heading remains the same, that bugs on the crowd. But I slightly modified it that we are facing an unprecedented rise in bacterial resistance, not only in hospitals, but also in the society. And still, possibly, we have not only few unlucky of us, they are have suffered the brunt of this development. But we are afraid that in the near future, or a future which is not so far, many of the society people will be actually facing the brunt of this bacterial resistance. They get infections which cannot be cured with bacteria, with antibiotics. This is a very optimistic article written in Annual Review of Microbiology, that is 1956. Just after the invention of penicillin, the sulfur drugs were already there, and there was just possibly introduction of streptomycin. And look at the impression of the specialist there. On the whole, the position of the antibiotic agents in the medical field is highly satisfactory. The majority of the bacterial infections can be cured simply, effectively, and cheaply. The mortality and morbidity from bacterial diseases has fallen so low that they no longer have the important unsolved problems of medicine. These accomplishments are widely known and appreciated. So that is a time when all the bacteria were susceptible to penicillin, all sorts of drugs. You can think the cheap penicillin. Of course, penicillin was relatively costly at the time, but still it was really cheap. And you would find for the first time in the history of mankind that you had the identified bacterial killing. And so people were very upbeat about that we were going to soon control this infection. During the 90s, the antibiotic resistance increased rapidly. We actually graduated in the 90s. At that time, the teachers used to teach us that whatever be the thing, first infection, treat the infection. Take care that there is no infection, give some antibiotic. So at least we have taken care of that, and rest we can settle afterwards. So that was our teaching, and that was our policy, that give the antibiotic first. Any antibiotic at that time, of course, the antibiotics were limited. We were just getting the third generations of those clinicians of vaccine. So, during 90s, antibiotic resistance increased dramatically and is acknowledged to be one of the most serious threats to treatment of infection diseases. World Health Organization issued a stark warning in its recent report, Overcoming Antibiotic Resistance. In addition to large increases in cost and greater toxicity of newer drugs, antibiotic-resistant organisms are continuously eroding current drugs, leaving few or no alternatives. And we have come up with much bigger antibiotics in the last 20 years. But has that made us very comfortable vis-a-vis infections? No, it hasn't. Actually, we are worse off than we were in the 80s. Right now, we are worse off because we are getting infection with much costlier drug. In the 80s, if a person spent 200, 250 rupees a day on antibiotic, it was supposed to be a very good spending. Big antibiotics have been given. Now, I'm telling you, an average regime, say, costs around 5,000, 7,000 rupees. A slightly complicated patient might be spending 15,000, 20,000 rupees a day on antibiotics. And in spite of that, we cannot guarantee that most of them will be cured. This is a serious global problem. It is a problem definitely in India, but all over the world. Increasing levels of resistance to antibiotics routinely used against bacteria responsible for nosocomial infections remains a serious and growing global problem. The impact of resistance, the infections with resistant organisms results in higher mortality, people suffer more, higher mortality, people die more, and prolonged hospitalization, which with the cost, that is, they die very costly deaths when they die. So that is the problem of antibiotic resistance. The patient was possibly admitted or something else. He never had this infection or something like that. But when he got admitted, he spent lakhs of rupees just treating his infection. The things that initially you can see in a normal flora, body flora, we have got, there is a change, there is a difference between what is called a virulence and a resistance. All bacteria which have strong infections need not be resistant bacteria. They can be very susceptible bacteria, but they can be very virulent, that is the spread. Normally we have got virulent bacteria which attacks us. And we have got commensal, that is inside the body we have got lots of bacteria already in the body, the gut, the most cavity, in the skin. We carry bacteria. They are not always harmful. They actually keep a friendly flora which push away the bad bacteria from our body. So these are the commensals. So see, you can see that most of the bacteria they are simple ovals, which means they are susceptible. Only one bacteria has got this double X and red and green, which means that there is a resistance. So this is usual pattern. But once you expose the patient to any antibiotic, and because of science, the antibiotics nowadays have become broader and broader spectrum. Even tablets, they have become very broad spectrum. When broad spectrum means they are acting in several bacteria. Once they activate several bacteria, first thing they do is that they kill the problem cells. So our body friendly bacteria they kill. Only the resistant bacteria, which are so little in number like this, they become, right now look at this, they have become the priority bacteria. Because they are not killed by this bacteria. They selected out. So they start growing. And this happens, and not that always the body is infected by that, but instantly we start carrying bacteria which are resistant to the germs. If we are weak or somehow compromise immunity, compromise defense, then this will attack us. This is what is happening. We are building up superheroes, and superheroes they always come with supervillains. They don't fight against ordinary mortals. What's the use of getting a Batman if we have got ordinary goons roaming around in the city? Batman, we didn't need the power, require the power of Batman. But we require Batman because there is the Joker who has got supernatural power. That's the thing. Once we have superheroes, we have supervillains. They will instantly. This is a very famous cover of this is Infectious Disease Society of America journal. This was a cover in 2004, but this has been the picture is basically how do you say it conceptualizes what the things are. This lady is scared. The lady is covered with mask and cap and everything. This is what is that? There are bad bugs and there are no drugs. We are getting bacteria against whom we do not have treatment. Perchance we are not being infected, but if we are infected, then we will be in trouble because we are not treated. The antimicrobial availability of class 4 of IDSA identified as particularly problem pathogens. These are specifically bacteria and many Acinetobacter baumannii and Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and there are several others. ESBL is an enzyme in the bacteria which makes the bacteria resistant to most of the penicillin-like drugs and also to common drugs like clindamycin or ciprofloxacin like that. So ESBL producing enterobacterium, MRSA, this is called methicillin-resistant staph, which is another very resistant germ, and vancomycin-resistant enterobacterium. And the problem is that there is decreasing research investments in antimicrobial development. There are several factors. The drug companies in the 90s or early 90s, they thought the war against bacteria have been won. So they thought that another 20 years we would not be repairing this antibiotics anymore. We have already won the battle. That's not the reason. Next thing is that they thought that if I develop a cardiac drug, that cardiac drug, successful cardiac drug will run for years, 20, 30 years, and that will bring us billions. But if I develop an antibiotic, that antibiotic lifespan is maybe say 5-7 years, after that we will be extensive, and the antibiotic use comes down drastically. It becomes a useless drug, or maybe much lesser drug. So they took away the research grants from the research grants or research budget from the antibiotic. That's the start during the 90s. So that is what is happening, the decline in research investments in antimicrobial resistance. Between 1962 and 2000, no major classes of antibiotics were introduced. Look at this. Before 1940s, there were sulfur drugs. 1940s, you started getting penicillin. 50s, you get chlorothiazide tetracycline. We got that aminoglycosides. And late 50s, you got macrolides. In 60s, you started getting glycopeptides. 70s, we started getting quinolones and streptogramins. 80, 90, there was nothing. In the late 90s, we started getting a few. This is lipopeptide and oxazolidine. That's the common. This thing is basically inhalable. That is, in the last 10 years or 20 years, the number of new drugs or new groups coming in are basically, narrowing down to very few drugs. This is what is happening. And this is also another similar thing. Antibiotic development is dwindling. You can see total number of new antibiotic agents which were registered were given patency. In 1983 to 1987, there were 60. In 80 to 92, there were 12 to 14. In 93 to 97, it came down to 10. And in 2003 to 2007, it is 4. And 2008 to 2007, it is just 2. So it's coming down basically, we are finishing our armamentarium of antibiotics. But what is happening to the drug resistance? It has just doubled in 2 years. Overall, I'm not talking about the hospital infections, over the community, the drug resistance all over the world. Some countries are better off with lesser resistance, some countries are worse off. Particularly countries, slightly poorer countries, or uneducated countries, or unaware countries. Countries who do not think that they should have antibiotic programs. There is not general alignment of the community that we should be careful about the use of antibiotics. They are the people who are giving us more resistances. Developed countries with more control, they have given us less resistance, but they are not free. There is no country which can say that we are devoid of antibiotic resistance, nothing of that sort. Everybody is suffering.